Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Nate with the TackleTime podcast. Today we're going to talk to another fisherman, get some awesome advice about using the Whopper Plopper and hear their fishing story. Talk about fishing from a kayak a little bit. It's a really great episode. You guys are going to like it. Alan is a really awesome, down-to-earth kind of person, and you're going to like a lot what he has to say. Before we jump into that, I want to tell you, before you buy tackle, jump to tacklebuys.com. Before you buy a new reel, before you buy a new net, before you buy a new rod, whatever it might be, before you buy a Whopper Plopper like we're going to talk about here in this episode, go on tacklebuys.com and see if someone has it on sale. Tackle Buys compiles all of the fishing gear that's on sale across the web and lists it online. So you can go and save a few bucks. If you know you're looking for a new rod, hunt on Tackle Buys until you find the one you want. Chances are the one you want might be on sale somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and jump in right into this episode. You're going to love it. I know I did. I had a lot of fun recording with Alan. Again, he's a great guy. So we're going to go jump in and hope you enjoy. All right, guys. Look at this beautiful crisp image here over here on the side. We have Gone Fishing 804.
What is up? What's up? What's up? What's going on?
My man, what do you like to be called?
Alan.
You like
That's my
Alan?
name.
Okay.
Alan, yeah. A lot of people say Gone Fishing 804 just because I don't really, throw my name out there like that. But, my friends call me Alan, so that's fine.
Ah, perfect. Well, I watched a whole bunch of your videos and you never said your name. So I just want to make sure if you want me to call you Gone Fishing, I'll do that. I'll do it all day long. I'm cool with that.
It's fine. I just don't like everybody knowing my name, my official name. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to keep that stuff kind of secretive.
Well, if this goes right, you're gonna be famous afterwards. So
I sure hope so, man.
So thank you so much for coming on. I know you're gonna teach us all about, well, everything you know about fishing, but I know you got one piece in particular you're gonna teach us about. But first off, I want to get off by starting and just ask you, how did you get started fishing?
Well, it's a long story, but short story is I was about maybe 5, 6 years old, and my aunt met her now husband, who was just like a avid fisherman. That's all he would do. I mean, like he would literally pull over on the side of the road on the highway, get out, go fish for like hours and hours, white flag in the window. And he introduced me to going catfishing. We started off going catfishing. This is
okay.
like 5, 6 years old. So right then I was hooked. I would want to go fishing with him all the time, and we would dang on there every weekend. When I didn't have school, definitely in the summertime and stuff, we would go fishing every single weekend, be out there for hours, and that's when I got the bug. So I've been fishing like dang on there all my life for real.
Wow, that's awesome. So you started out fishing catfish.
Catfish, panfish, bluegill. We would catch a lot of bluegill, crappie, and catfish. I wasn't aware about big old bass like back then. You know what I mean? My uncle, he was big into catfish, so that's what I started out doing.
Wow, no, that's fantastic. So when you were little, did you you get one of the big fish on the line that drag you in the water, or what? They have to hold you back on shore?
He used to make me like reel him in. He'd be on a big fish, and I'm 5, 6 years old trying to, with an 8-foot catfish rod, trying to reel this thing in. And yeah, I definitely had my times where I was like, I just can't reel this fish in. I can't reel it in. And he was just like, no, you got him, you got him. So that was the start of the adrenaline rush right there, man.
5 or 6 years old reeling in a catfish that's the size of you. That's a funny sight to see.
20, 30 pounds, big, pretty decent catfish. So we're in Virginia, so we used to fish James River a lot. And I never knew, I can't remember where he used to take me to. I know that we were on the James River and we would ride out and go out about an hour and just start slaying fish, man. It was cool. So that's what really got me started.
So when you were younger, No, that's really awesome. I love hearing when people start early. What was your favorite fish to fish for when you were younger?
Definitely bluegill.
Was it?
Definitely bluegill. My aunt lived right across the street from a creek, and I used to go out to the creek and I just take some bread, not even no worms, just take some bread, wet it a little bit, put it on the hook, and just kill bluegill. So that was definitely my favorite back then because I didn't know, you know what I mean? I had no knowledge of a different type of fish until I started getting older, and I was like, whoa, okay, they're a different type of fish. So that's what really got me started into going into bass fishing. And that once I started catching like nice bass, like I was like, okay, this is cool. Let me just go ahead and delve into it more. And then I just started loving catching bass, and it's been that way like ever since.
So that's I'm guessing it's probably what you found now.
Uh, well, I try to mix it up, you know, but for the majority of the time, it's just bass do it for me. That's
Sure.
that's my shot, you know what I mean? Especially now it's hot, it's warm. That top water explosion, man, is just does something to my soul that can't no other fish do. It's just like, oh my gosh, you know the feeling. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, for no, the top waters are awesome, and I got to get a little. I need a little bit more experience with top waters. One of these days, we're gonna get somebody on who can teach us all how to use top waters a little better than I can.
Where are
So
you
that's
located at?
I'm in Pennsylvania, just south of Pittsburgh.
Oh, dude, you ain't that far from me, dude.
No, no, you're
You're
close.
like,
I mean, we go down to Virginia to see my girlfriend's family down there. So you're not far.
yeah, it's only like what, 4 hours, maybe three,
Yeah,
four
depending
hours.
on where you where exactly in Virginia at?
I'm in Richmond.
Okay, yeah, it's about 4.5 to where I'm
Yeah.
at. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, we gotta schedule something one of these days, man. Coming up, where
definitely.
we'll I'll take you out and we'll go get on some fish, man.
Sounds like a plan for sure. And I think give you a little bit of background here as far as what this project is all about, just for any new listeners we have tuning in. But Tackle Time is dedicated to teaching folks who either don't have a mentor or don't have enough mentors in their area or don't have folks who are experienced with different types of products or different types of lures or baits or whatever it might be, and trying to find people out there who want to share the knowledge they have, just like you. We're going to talk about the Whopper Plopper later on, which I know bass fanatics are crazy about the Whopper Plopper. I know people use them for other stuff too, but I don't have that much experience in Whopper Ploppers. I don't have that much experience in fishing either, but I love it. And that's exactly what this project is to do, to try and break the mold, so to say, and make fishing approachable. And I think a
Right.
lot of people are scared off by fishing, all the colors, all the sizes, all the gear, and it can drive people away. And that's the intent of this. So you're helping build something here that I'm really proud of. So thank you again for
Right.
coming on.
Hey, man, no problem, man. You're actually the first person that I have accepted a podcast offer from. Like, I've been asked to do it
Awesome.
before,
Awesome. Well, thank you.
but I don't know. Your messages spoke to me, so I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and talk with Nate real quick and see how we can help him out. So I'm all about helping them
You're
out.
the man. So thank you again.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
you, it helps a lot more folks than me. So it's going out there to the world. One of the videos I saw recently of you was you getting a new kayak. You want to tell everybody about the new toy you managed to pick up lately?
Um, well, that is a 2020 Old Town Old Town Sportsman pedal drive 120, and it's compared to, if you guys, some like, that I started out with a 12-foot Eagle Talon sit-in kayak that had no accessories, no nothing on this. When I first started getting into kayaking, maybe two and a
That
half.
was the one you drilled all the rod holders into,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So and that was actually a kayak that my boy Jake we would go fishing all the time. And he was like, man, you got to get a kayak. You got to get a kayak. And I was like, dude, I don't even have the money to get a kayak right now. So he ended up giving me that kayak for like $75.
Oh,
So
wow. That's awesome.
yeah, it was cool. So I was using that for a good like maybe 8-9 months, and then it got a hole in it. So I was like, man, I got to repair it. Upon trying to repair it, I like leaned on it really crazy. And when I leaned on it, it was just a big, huge crack that just went all the way up. I was like, no, it's over. So I'm out in the yard screaming. The old lady comes out and she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, I just broke my kayak. She was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna leave you alone for a little while.
I'm going to leave. Yeah. I'm going to go back in.
Right. So I dealt with that, like not having any mode to get like out on the water. So I just bank fished for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months, just trying to save up some money to get another kayak. And then she surprised me with that Sun Dolphin a couple years ago. And I ended up getting that for free, actually. So that was pretty cool. I was excited about that. And I rode that for a little while. And then Old Town contacted me and asked me that I want to review one of their kayaks. And I said, yeah, man. Yeah, bring it on. Yeah, send it on
That's
over
awesome.
here.
That's
So
awesome.
they sent it out. I've been out in it maybe once, twice so far. So I'll be doing a review, on the water review of that here coming soon. And I mean, it's just an amazing kayak. It's expensive. Like I was saying, I would not ever spend that much money on a kayak, but it's definitely worth the money. Like I wouldn't recommend any other pedal drive. It's so sweet, man. It is so sweet. You can just fish. No hand, you got your hands on your rods the whole time that you're fishing, and you can move around. You control and fish at the same time. That's something you can't do in just a regular kayak. You got to paddle, then you fish, then you paddle, then you fish, and you paddle, and it makes it that much easier, man. It's really cool. I love it so far.
I have a similar one. That the reason I asked it struck a chord with me is I have an Old Time Predator, which I use.
Okay, cool.
And it's a great boat. It's stable. It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's the only problem, but it's a stable boat. You can't get everything in one package, but it's
right.
I saw that you had another Old Town, and I said, oh, this is cool. So we definitely had to talk about that. The pedal drives are another world for sure.
Dude, one of my boys has a Predator. And I mean, those things move, man. They are fast boats. And the only downside to it is it's a heavy boat. You got 100-pound kayak, then you got the pedal drive, which is another maybe 20 pounds or so. So you need wheels or something to get it out if you don't want to drag it or anything.
Sure. Yeah.
But once you get it on the water, it is worth it. It's not a problem, man.
Absolutely.
Especially, I never had a rudder. So if you ever kayak with your rudder up, or if you don't have a rudder, when you paddle to the left, the back of that boat is zigzagging like this, man. Now I get my boat and I paddle and it's going straight just because of that rudder. So that was like a game changer for me, man. It was like me starting fishing all over again, with learning something new.
You're right, and I think it's worth talking about here for folks who just say, are normal bank fisher. They fish from the bank, or that's what they're used to. Our kayaks are really approachable, and they are for most people pretty affordable. It's better than buying a $5,000 boat, and then you have to maintain the engines, and and there's all kinds of issues with boats, but kayaks are a really approachable option for a lot of folks, and they don't have to be expensive. Like you said, you had that Eagle Talon or that Sun Dolphin, and those are $200 or $300, and you can get a pretty affordable kayak, which is in most people's budget. And then there's, it goes up from there, of course. But I couldn't imagine being a bank fisherman after fishing from a kayak now. I couldn't do it. The opportunity and all the options out there are incredible. So I just couldn't go back.
Yeah, I mean, I still bank fish quite a bit as well, but there's nothing like actually getting into the boat and getting out away from the bank. Don't get it wrong. I mean, I've caught a lot of big fish right off of a bank. My personal best, well, my first personal best came off the bank, 8.5 pound largie on like a Zoom brush hog and June bug
Oh
called
wow.
baby brush hog in January of all times. It was cold. It was like 30 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
So my hands are freezing when I'm catching this fish. But anyway, like you can still catch fish off of the bank, but
Absolutely.
you have more opportunity. You get to see more water, more nature, and things like that when you actually get in the water. It's not so monotonous because you never know what's down there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Once you get
Yeah.
in the water, you're like, now I can get over there and see what I've been missing. And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's new water. You never fished it before, so it's a lot better in my opinion. But I'm not knocking bank fishing at all because I started bank fishing.
Sure.
Like everybody started bank fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, neither am I. Absolutely. Totally. I absolutely agree. So what have you done up to this point? And obviously you have a YouTube channel, or I guess we probably ought to make that clear for everybody listening. And you have a YouTube channel, which is Gone Fishing 804.
Absolutely.
Everybody listening can go and check out your videos. They can look at or not a review, but look at you talk about the new top water you got, the pedal drive, and all of your other fishing videos.
Right.
What would you tell people who want to check you out, and how can they find you and all that stuff?
Oh, well, everything on my social media is / Gone Fishing 804. If you type in Google, just Gone, GONE FISHING 804, it will pull me up no matter whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, everything's / Gone Fishing 804. And I'm sure there's more. I've got over like 200 and something videos out.
Oh
So
wow, that is a
I'm
lot.
I'm sure that there's at least 1 or 2 videos on my channel that you guys will enjoy, and I would definitely appreciate and love you guys for subscribing. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all the love, and if you haven't yet, just check me out, man. That's all I can ask. See something you like, smash that subscribe button.
Nah, definitely check Alan out. Give him a like, give him a subscribe, and check out his videos. So obviously, I can tell just by talking to him, he's got a lot to offer the fellow anglers here. I gotta quit saying few ladies here in the audience. I don't want them to feel excluded. So that we're gonna get some lady anglers here on the podcast to teach them guys. So
absolutely.
Now tonight you wanted to talk about the Whopper Poplar, or the Whopper Plopper. So every podcast we talk about one piece of tackle in particular,
Right.
and that was the one you chose. So what is it about the Whopper Plopper that you love so much and wanted to share with us?
Dude, the Whopper Plopper, first off, if you haven't seen my channel, if you want to see extreme top water blow-ups, that is the bait for you. Like, I mean, it's an effortless bait, really. Like, you just cast it out, you chuck it, and you wind it, and it comes through that water, blah, 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 and it's going, 9 times out of 10, it's a big fish on the end of that line. You get to see that water just explode, man, and the fish pulling hard, man. That's my shot right there. That's the bait that actually like got the most traction when I started my YouTube channel. I was like,
Gotcha.
Whopper Plopper, such and such, and boom, everybody loved it just as much as I did. So they were like, it was crazy. I think I got one in his bag somewhere. I know I have one.
Yeah, no problem.
I had one to show you guys, but I don't know if I misplaced it or what.
No, no problem. Take your time.
All right, cool. Well, this is one of them that I throw, but my favorite color is called the T1000. That's my favorite color Whopper Plopper to throw. So if you guys
They had a color. What the heck kind of color is that?
Yeah, it's T1000, right? So you remember the Terminator? You remember Terminator, right? T1000. It's the Terminator 1000. That's what it does, man. It terminate. I'm telling you, terminates those fish. But this here is a bone-colored Whopper Plopper. right here. This is the 110. And this, I mean, it's just it's a beautiful lure, you know what I mean? So as it's coming through the water, this tail right here just spins around like that,
Ah, no kidding. Okay.
and it just catches all the water. And as it's coming through the water, it's making a plop 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 plop. And the fish just they can't handle it, man. When it comes through there and they see that thing, plop 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 plop,
Wow. Okay.
boom, they just get angry with it, man. It's unreal, man. It's unreal.
Now,
This,
now the Whopper Plopper is a top one.
yes, yep. Top water lure.
You're gonna cast it out there. So you're gonna throw it out, and crank it in. You kind of jig it as it along the top of the water. You just crank it in slow and steady.
All right, so this lure right here, you can literally, all you've got to do is throw it out. Once you throw it out to your desk, you can throw this thing a mile. I recommend throwing it on a heavy rod, medium fast action because of the treble hooks. Treble hooks, you don't need to set the hook that hard. Once a fish grabs those trebles
Yep.
and he's got them, it's not really a chance that he's gonna come off. I've lost maybe 1, 2 fish on this, unless I've got some crazy line or something that is a little crispy or a little old.
Mhm.
I throw it
Sure.
always on like 30-pound braid. And if you got some line that's old or your knot's not right, that's the only time that I've lost fish is when they actually take the lure with them. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Yep.
So the majority of the time that I'm throwing a Whopper Plopper, I'm looking um, at a body of water. If the fish I think they're shallow or a little bit shallow, I try to get as parallel to whatever structure or bank. If there's a bank, going across west, I try to get as parallel to I can. So if this is me, that's the bank right there. I try to position myself right here
Mm.
so I can cast as far as I can
Gotcha.
and pull it back parallel to that whole shore. Now that doing it like that eliminates a lot of you say going out to 7 or 8 foot of water and fan casting at the bank. You won't be doing that as much as if you get parallel as you can to that bank. If you think they're up shallow, I'm gonna get parallel. I'm gonna cast straight out 3 or 4 times. And if don't nothing hit, I can move down, you know, 50, 75 yards, however far I'm throwing it, and hit that new water, as opposed to fan casting and then moving 10 yards and then fan casting again and moving 10 yards and fan casting again, moving 10 yards. I just try to stay as parallel as I possibly where it allows me to. And that I
Sure.
feel like that makes me more successful with throwing the Whopper Plopper, because a lot of people say, man, how do you throw it? How do you catch as many fish on there? Dude, the Whopper Plopper is doing all the work for real. Nine
You just got
times
to
out of
prove the right
10
spot.
that I'm throwing the Whopper Plopper, you throw it out there and you just reel it in. Now, granted, there are some different techniques that some people like to use. Like you could throw it out and yank it really hard, just give it a couple quick jerks, and it'll just spray water up like that, and then constant retrieve. Or you can just do that the whole time,
Gotcha.
where you're
Okay.
just working it like a jerk bait almost on the top of the water,
Mhm.
and it's just throwing out a whole bunch of water. I mean, there's several different ways to retrieve it, but you just have to figure out what type of retrieval that those fish are keying on that day. So usually I'll just go out and throw it straight for a few times, 5, 10 minutes, don't nothing happen, switch the retrieve up a little bit. But 90% of the time, though, the fish come and hit it while it's moving. Just a slow, constant blah 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 blah
Gotcha.
blah blah
Gotcha.
blah blah
Okay.
blah blah blah, and that's when you get that explosion on it.
Do you change your retrieval depending on the size Whopper Plopper you're using, or is it pretty much the same?
I only really throw the 110.
Okay.
I threw the 90 uh, for about a year or so, but the 90 does not have this, see on the back, well, that's bright. On the
Yep.
back right there,
Yep.
there's a little concave patch or a concave like little stopper that the 90 does not have, because if you throw this thing through some grass, that grass on the 90 will get up inside there and
Gotcha.
stop that
Yeah.
tail
Yep.
from spinning. So
Okay.
they've adjusted for that and put that there and made it a little bit easier to come through grass. Now, I wouldn't recommend throwing this like in lily pads and stuff, but if you can, work it through some lily pads and stuff, it's awesome. You just don't want to get caught on them. So,
Sure.
but so the 75 is what I throw that a lot, kind of somewhat, but for the most part, I'm just throwing the 110.
Gotcha. Or we'll skip back just here for 1 second.
Sure.
For anybody listening who isn't familiar, these do come in different sizes, and a lot of times they're referred to as the 110 or 90 or so on and so forth. So these are different sizes that we're talking about the Whopper Ploppers available in. And so Alan's saying he really likes the 110 in particular. So you said you like to fish parallel to the bank or parallel to and just retrieve it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's different on bodies of water, because you could pull up on a lay down and it's not going to let you. The lay down is preventing you from getting parallel to it. So a lay down might be sticking out in the water like that, and you can't cast over top of that lay down. You know what I mean? So you have to move your boat or whatever you in out here and try to throw beside the tree. So I just try to do it where where I'm allowed to do it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You're really intuitive. You know what I mean? You look at it and you say, all right, if I throw this over here, it's a good chance I'm gonna get stuck. But I don't know. It looks kind of fishy over there. So I mean, you could take a chance on losing $17, but it might be worth it. It might be that 9-10 pounder sitting under that lay down and it just hammers.
You never know.
Hammers it. Yeah, exactly. So it's really up to you how you fish it. I'm just telling you what my experiences are with it and how it works for me. So, I mean, if there's a cove, and you think fish are sitting in the middle, throw that thing in the middle, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So I can only tell you my experiences, but that's usually
that's exactly what we're after.
Yeah, that's usually what works
that's perfect
for me. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I took a lot of time throwing that Whopper Plopper to, kind of get dialed in on it. So it's all experience. The only way you can find out for yourself really is to go out there and throw it and use it and
absolutely
get used to it. You know what I mean? Just me telling you it's not going to be enough.
Do you have good luck with it on both lakes and streams, rivers, or what do you normally fish the plopper on?
I'll throw it anywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm on a river. I'll chuck it, lake, pond, stream, wherever I think it's going to be a good possibility of a top water bite. Then I'll throw that. But it's so loud, especially when I don't know. I can't even say it. It's a really loud, intrusive bait. So if you throw it over top of a fish's head, he's not gonna have. He's like, I have to eat this. You know what I mean? Like he cannot ignore it because it's just coming by and just being real loud and noisy. And I think part of the reason that they strike it so aggressively is because it makes them angry. You know what I mean? It's really intrusive on them. So they're like, dude, get this out of here. Wow. And just try to annihilate it. So that's my experiences.
No, that's perfect. Okay. No, that's exactly what we're looking for, is trying to figure out what works for you. And for anybody listening, obviously, just as Alan said, you kind of have to go out and figure out what works in your area, maybe what colors work, what size works, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out what works exactly where you are. If you try to figure, the exact same way that Alan fishes, we're in totally different parts of the, you kind of have to experiment a little. But is there anything else that you want to share with us as far as the Whopper Plopper, or any other advice you would give somebody who's just getting started into it, whatever it might be, anything you feel would be valuable to folks listening right now?
Oh, you got to throw it. That's definitely I'm a hands-on person. So for me, when I first found out about it, I was like, Whopper Plopper, what in the world is this? Because topwater lures, I started off with like hula poppers, maybe a frog or just a little tiny popper. I had no idea about a Whopper Plopper or anything like that. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a little on the expensive side, 15, 16 bucks, but it's relatively cheap. Like I got some lures like this right here, that's a bullgill, Mike Buka bullgill right here in the 6-inch. And that thing costs $75. So we're chucking big baits out here, you know what I mean? So it's relatively inexpensive, but I mean, all you gotta do is just get out there, throw it, just try it out, give it a shot. I'm sure you will have some you'll have success with it, and there will be some days that you're just like, man, I can't get a bite with this thing, I can't get a bite. But don't give up, man. It happens to me too. I'm not the only one that is out there grinding and can't get a bite with it. So I mean, all you got to do is just give it a shot.
That's all we can do. We can all get out there and try and grab a little experience with it. So that's all we can work with. You know what? I just want to say thank you again, Al, for jumping on with us tonight. This was really great. I got a lot out of it. I never used a Whopper Plopper before, but I'm going to go get a couple of them and try them out.
Wow.
So like I said, that this is all new to me. I'm fairly new, as far as fishing with all the different stuff out there. I mean, I know a lot of it, but I've never used it. So I'm going to go and get myself a Whopper Plopper and get out there and plop some bass and see how she all works. But no, I encourage everybody else out there to do the same thing. So
Right.
that's fantastic, man. So thank you so much for sharing all that with us. That was really good. I can't wait to get out there.
It's all good, man. That's what I'm here for, dude. Hopefully give you guys a little inspiration. Get out there, get on some fish.
We all need. I need more. I need more of that. It's a hard day when you don't catch anything, but I think the Whopper
Oh, yeah.
Plopper might be the secret weapon. So
Yeah, there are plenty right now. There are plenty of weapons you can throw, but you know, there's it's been so hot lately down here. Like I haven't caught a fish in maybe 2 weeks.
yeah,
So
I'm having trouble lately too.
it's really hot. These fish are down deep, man. They're down hunkered deep. It's really too hot. You got to think about it. You know, these fish can't regulate their
Mhm.
body temperature. You know what I mean? So if it's hot, they gonna be
Yeah,
hot.
they're deep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? If you're hot on top of the water fishing and sweating and stuff, those fish hot. We got to go down deep.
Definitely. Yep.
Where we can at least be comfortable up top when the sun starts to get on them. It's really the shallow bite goes away. So
Mhm.
I've been having to try to search deep for the fish. So it is what it is, man.
Well, guys, this has been Alan with the Gone Fishing 804 channel on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Watch all his videos about how to use a Whopper Plopper and learn a whole lot more than what we can share just tonight. So, is there any other place that the folks listening can find you? I know you said Instagram and Facebook. Do you have a website or
Yeah,
anything?
I've got Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and I just recently got TikTok. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm really with the TikTok thing, man.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever catch on with it. I don't think.
It's just I don't know. It's just not my deal, you know what I mean? But Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. I've also got Fish Brain, and I think that's it. But everything's Gone Fishing 804. So wherever you want to find me at, just type in Gone Fishing 804, and like I said, I'll pop up. And there's several different media outlets for me. But all of my videos and tutorials and stuff are on YouTube. So
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm not that hard to find. Oh, I also got Reddit too.
Oh,
Reddit.
okay.
I'm Gone Fishing 804 on Reddit as well.
Cool. Okay. So anybody checking out Reddit, I know there's probably some good stuff up there too. So no, hey, thank you so much again for coming on. Definitely appreciate it. We'll talk here in just a minute. But guys, again, check out Alan, and that was really great. I'm sure he's got a lot more to share on his channel. So jump over there and say thank you to him for jumping on here. So this is us tuning out, guys. Thanks so much.
Later.